Is it possible to create a passive income stream from just $0? Paul James here, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, I got this idea from another YouTuber, shout out Graham Stephan, and in this video Graham made, he explains that while it is possible to make passive income starting with $0, you will have to exchange something for it for that lack of monetary investment, because you certainly can't get nothing from nothing, right? You know the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Now, normally I'd agree with that statement, and in most cases it's absolutely true. I mean, if you're not going to be investing your money in something like real estate, where you're putting your money in and using it as like leverage to make more money, then your only alternative is usually a time investment. So for example, giving up your time and offering a service to someone. This could be something like cutting someone's grass in exchange for like $20, or helping someone clean their house. Hopefully you get the point. In other words, you don't need money up front when you're performing a service for someone, because you're essentially trading your time for money. And although I like service-based businesses because, quite frankly, I think they're one of the easiest businesses to start, I got to thinking, what if there was a way to hack this? Because if I'm being honest, this isn't exactly passive income. I mean, if you're sitting there doing all of the work yourself and giving up time, that's really not passive. The only true way to make an income stream like that totally passive would be for you to go out there and hire people to do the work for you. And while that's not a bad idea, in fact, it's what I do a lot of the time, hiring people takes money. It also isn't something that can be done overnight. You're gonna need the infrastructure to pull that off, and a place for the employee to come in and work every day. You'd also have to spend a lot of time finding the right person and training them, and a lot of other sort of nuances that come with being a boss. And in my opinion, it's just not all that fun. But what if I told you that there's an even better way, a way to start making real passive income starting from $0? Smash that like button and I'll let you in on a little secret right now. This strategy I'm gonna share with you in this video was one that I've leveraged for a long time. In fact, I remember even way back in 2010 when I first started working from home full time. This strategy I'm talking about is called arbitrage. And the beauty of arbitrage is that you don't have to employ anyone. You also don't have to do the work personally. So you're not exchanging your time for money anymore. Therefore, you're getting a relatively passive income stream. And there's a way to make it even more passive, which I'll explain throughout this video. But first, let me explain to you how arbitrage works so that you have a better understanding of how you can get started making passive income with it. The first thing is you find someone that needs an in-demand service. Now, I like in-demand services because then you know there will always be someone out there who's looking to get this service done. The next step is where the arbitrage part comes into play. Once you've found the person that needs this said service or in-demand service, you find someone who's a provider that already performs this service. Meaning you don't have to train them or anything like that. They already know what they are doing. You just need to kind of tell them what your client wants. So in a nutshell, your only job is to be the middleman or woman. You're literally handling the communication. You know, a few emails back and forth usually, plus delivering the final product to them, and you're good to go. And I don't mean like actually driving to their house, but like emailing over files of the work that was performed by the provider. That's really all delivery comes down to. So let me give you an example, because this is really simple. Maybe you decide that you're going to find people that need PowerPoint presentation slide designs created. You know, maybe these people need them done for like a business meeting. Maybe they're startups and they're looking for slides to help them pitch investors to invest in their company. The bottom line is they need a PowerPoint slide design done. So your job is to find these people. And once you find these PowerPoint slide design customers, you're gonna charge them, let's just say $100. Remember, this is purely just an example. Now that you have your client and they've paid you, hopefully, you find a provider that actually does this service for other people, and you work out a deal with them to do it for you. And here's the key. They have to do it for less than whatever you charge your customer. So let's say you find someone to do this slide design for $50. And hey, there's nothing wrong with being honest with them here. You know, you can tell your provider exactly what you're doing and that you're outsourcing the work to them. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. And being honest with them up front can actually work in your favor. you can build a long-term relationship with this provider because you're giving them work that they otherwise wouldn't be getting, which means that all three parties involved are super happy. The customer is happy because they're getting their slides designed and they don't have the connections to get it done themselves. The designer is happy because they got extra work that they otherwise wouldn't be getting because they don't have the time to prospect. And you're happy because you make some extra money. So the long story short here is the designer does the work for you and you basically profit $50 off of this whole transaction, and all you did was facilitate the transaction. Now, if you're wondering how you find providers like this to do the work for you, stick around because I'll dive into that in a minute. But here's the cool part about this and why you can actually start doing this starting from $0. When you find the person that needs the work performed, you're collecting the money from them up front, which means it takes $0 of your own money to get started with this. So in our example of the person who wants a PowerPoint slideshow designed, you're collecting $100 from them first. Then you're using that money to pay the provider or designer who's designing the actual slides for them. So it breaks down like this. You took $0, you turned it into $100, but then you used $50 of that money to pay the provider, leaving you with a net profit of $50. I'd say that's a pretty good ROI for a mostly passive income stream. All you had to do was a little bit of emailing to find out what the prospect wanted done. And honestly, once you've done this a few times, you could hire a virtual assistant for a very reasonable hourly rate to even handle this part of it for you, which would then make it 100% passive income. That means you could be off sipping mojitos on a beach somewhere while someone else is making you passive income. I love these little types of income hacks, don't you? Now I know what you're thinking, but Paul, how am I going to find someone to do this work for me? Thanks to the internet, things are relatively easy to find these days and for a very low rate. In fact, I'd say keep it stupid simple and use Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com is a marketplace where people offer up all kinds of different services that they already provide and for really reasonable rates. It's nice because you can see reviews of past customers that have used their services before and examples of their past work. That makes it really easy to find the right person to work with. You know, I find myself turning to Fiverr more and more because almost every service you can think of is provided on there. Plus, so many people overlook it and are not using this site, or they just plain don't know about it. And although Fiverr isn't just $5 for every gig like it used to be, it's still pretty reasonable. And many times I'll find gems here and there that are just amazing deals. Now, if you're stuck wondering what service you should provide for passive income arbitrage, one thing I'd recommend doing is just heading over to Fiverr and start browsing around. I can almost bet that you'll find something in just a couple of minutes of looking. So now that you've found a service to provide and a provider that will do the work for you, the question becomes, how the heck will I find someone that needs these services? So here's what I recommend. There's a lot of marketplaces and classified ad sites out there where you can not only advertise for free, but other people will also advertise their need for certain services too. Think about it. Sites like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and Facebook groups. Many of them have certain sections to not only advertise your services, but also customers advertise when they need something done or are looking for recommendations for stuff. And then you have forum and Reddit communities, and the list really goes on and on here. If you just take a little bit of time to look for people asking for help or post your own ads, you'll start gathering a huge list of prospects really quickly. And these are all places where you can come in and within just a few minutes of searching, you'll be able to find someone that needs this kind of work done that you're providing. But that can be time consuming and it isn't entirely passive either, right? So here's what I recommend to make this completely passive. First, I recommend you do the first 3 or 4 of these by handling the outreach yourself. That'll help you build up some capital, since I'm assuming here that you're starting from $0 if you're watching this video right now. If you're not starting from $0, I mean, feel free to jump right into this immediately and not even bother doing the first couple of them yourself. But anyways, here's how you get yourself out of the equation entirely. So go to a site like Upwork.com. Think of Upwork like an online job board where virtual employees put up their resumes and employers scout them out, or vice versa. I'd recommend basically going on there and posting a job with a description saying that you're looking for a virtual assistant. Now, because they are virtual, this means that you'll never have to see them or worry about typical employment things like maintaining an office for them to come into work every day. Instead, they'll just help you out over the computer from their home. Now, in the description of your job post that you put up on Upwork, you want to explain that you're looking for someone that's good at emailing and also posting on classified ad sites. And one thing I like to do is ask for an example of some of their previous work experience. Now, I can almost guarantee you that you'll find qualified people responding to your post, some for as low as $3 an hour. And the cool part is that these freelance sites like Upwork, they handle all of the time tracking and payments on your behalf. Basically, all you need to do is keep a credit card on file and approve their work log every week. They even have a little app that your virtual assistant can install on their computer, and it will actually give you screenshots of their computer while they're working on your projects. That way you can keep track of the work that they're doing for you. They basically just start and stop it when they're working or not working. Then once a week, you just go in there and confirm that everything looks good, and then Upwork handles everything else. There is one caveat to this. You will have to train this person. Got him! But since you've already done it a few times yourself, ideally, that process is pretty easy. Let me actually give you some pointers on that. So you could either write out a little description and email it to them, or a really ninja trick I'll teach you if you smash that like button if you haven't already, is record a quick little video walking them through the process. This really shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes, and there's tools out there that will record your screen while you talk over it. I really like the tool called Loom. It's a little browser extension that you can hit record and it records your screen while you talk over it, and then it gives you a link that you can then take and pass off to your virtual assistant. But there's also other apps out there too. Screencast-O-Matic has a free tool that installs on your computer, and it does basically the same thing. Use this little technique to train your virtual assistant quickly, and voila, you've completely replaced yourself and automated your income stream. And the cool part is you started from $0. Now, I bet you didn't think it would be that easy, did you? You know, sometimes it's simple concepts like this that are easy to implement that we often just wonder why we hadn't thought of it before that actually work the best. So go out there right now and implement this. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please do that now and tick the bell icon, because then you'll get notified of my next video. And you're definitely not going to want to miss that one, because it's going to be absolute fire. I'll also comment back at you if you leave me a comment letting me know that you've subscribed to the channel. I share some of my best strategies in daily life over on my Instagram as well. So if you're not following me there, my username is @HelloPaulJames. I look forward to seeing you there. Go drop me a follow and you'll get some behind the scenes bonuses over there, which is awesome. But anyways, guys, until next time, I am Paul James. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.